What's up guys, David Moss Jr. here, and I wanted to make a quick follow-up video because 11 months ago, I made my first review video on the Desert Plunge. And at the time they used the Grizzly 400 Active Aqua Chiller. It was a really simple design. And I still have that cold plunge. It has been operational the entire time and it still works perfectly. So in this video, I wanted to go over the Desert Plunge and really explain why it's such an easy cold plunge for me to recommend. And if you're somebody looking to get into cold plunging and you're stepping over the DIY route and you want to get something that's reliable, why the Desert Plunge might be a really good option for you to at least consider. The first thing I want to talk about is the price. I mean, I started really publishing videos on YouTube talking about doing DIY cold plunges. And basically I started in a galvanized horse trough, and what I found that worked the best was the Active Aqua Chiller. At the time I used a half horsepower. I had some videos where I used a full horsepower, and then I didn't realize the quarter horsepower would be enough for a cold plunge because I never had anything quite like this. This thing is not just rugged, it's not just fully sealed with child safety latches, but there's 2 inches of foam 360 degrees around the entire cooler. And what that does is it helps the water stay really, really cold, really easy, despite what the elements might be outside. You see, I live here in Florida, and right now it is 80 degrees outside. And I've had mine running through the entire summer and the entire winter. I'm in Florida, so I don't have freeze warnings or anything that I have to worry about. But if there's one thing I've noticed, the efficiency of my Desert Plunge operations, and I have 3 of them on almost all the time, is that the chiller itself is almost never kicked on. Meaning the water inside the cooler is almost always exactly what I have it set to without the chiller having to actually operate. And that's a question I get all the time from people asking, hey, do I need to put this thing on a timer? And the answer is no. The chiller that they use is actually smart enough to realize when it hits that set temperature, and it will kick the chiller off. Water will just bypass through the chiller. The pump will move the water through the filtration system the entire time. You want to leave that on 24/7. But because of the way this is built with that heavy insulation, the chiller almost never has to be on, and your water is always going to be cold. And like I said, 11 months ago, I started my relationship with Desert Plunge, where I posted a review on their original cold plunge. Since then, 7 months ago, they launched the wide option, which is one of the widest cold plunges I have ever been inside. And then they also teased us all with this, the exclusive model, which is longer than the 400 and gives you more room. But one of the things that I absolutely love about the Desert Plunge option is the price. You can get the exclusive setup for under $3,000, and the wide is just a couple $100 more. They come in a few different color options, and there are some different options, but there's one option I highly recommend anybody buy, and that is ozone, because it does a phenomenal job keeping my water sanitary no matter how many people I have using it. And then they come with a 1-year warranty, which gives you a little peace of mind, and you can extend that to 3 years. But the price is on point. It's on the lower end. So when somebody reaches out and they're like, hey, I know you've reviewed them all, what's a good cold plunge for me to start with? It's very easy for me to recommend the Desert Plunge because it's a more affordable option. They ship really fast. They're built here in the United States. The founders are incredible human beings, and I've personally never had a problem with them. I have 3 Desert Plunges on all the time, getting used all the time, and I think I've only changed the water in my original that I've had operational for 11 months twice. And one time was just because I moved it upstairs. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably see me jumping in a lot of different cold plunges. It's because I review them and I have them. But there's a few setups that I really rely on all the time, and I love the fact that the Desert Plunge has not failed me. I've had no problems with them. And I think part of the reason is the chiller's not having to operate that often because of the insulation. They use a high quality pump that moves the water through, and they have pre-filters that prevent debris from hitting the pump. And when you've seen all the different options like me, these are things that you see other companies fail to do, and then they have pump issues. They have priming issues. And then they have one of the most annoying things ever where it's a safety feature. I get it, and I probably shouldn't even say this, but I'm gonna say it. When the power kicks off in the middle of the night, not all of my cold plunges will kick back on when the power kicks on, but my Desert Plunges will. I love that the lid has a prop latch, so it keeps the lid open. When there's some windy gusts, it keeps the lid from falling down on your kids, which I've actually had happen on other cold plunges before. I love that it's extremely rugged. I move this thing around. Like you see here, it's on my newest deck. This is my newest deck that I have a Sisu sauna and my Desert Plunge. And it's sitting here. I moved it here and it's currently sitting here, but I've had it all over my yard. It's super rugged, very easy for me to move. The components are lightweight, and I've never had somebody get into the Desert Plunge that's too big for it to be a comfortable experience. It's also really easy for you to get fully submerged. And listen, the only reason I'm making this video is because I get DMs on Instagram all the time from people asking me, okay, I want to buy a cold plunge. I know you've reviewed them all. Gun to your head, which one would you buy? listen, there is a lot of great options out there, and there's a lot of great options based off of budget, based off of looks, based off of space, based off of weight, based off of requirements. So this will only get down to 39 degrees. So if you're somebody who wants to torture yourself with floating ice, this isn't going to be the greatest option for you. But in my experience, 39 degrees is cold. It's going to give you the benefits of cold plunging. So 39 degrees is good for 99% of anybody out there who's looking to start getting cold on a regular basis. And it does have a pretty distinct look. This looks like an extra large cooler. That's what it looks like. Not everybody loves having the exposed chiller on the side and the components off the back. Some people want to have it all enclosed. And listen, there's a price to all that. But if you're looking to get cold on a regular basis and you don't want to break the bank, this is still cheaper than the very first cold plunge that I ever bought, which was, I hate to say it, Edge Theory Labs. $5,000 for an inflatable cold plunge with a faulty chiller. That's what I dealt with. And when I built my own DIY, I used the Active Aqua chiller. I used the similar pump. I didn't have the crazy filtration that this has, and I found that ozone was one of the best ways to keep my water cold. So the fact that they have a company that does it all for you and they can ship it right to your house, you can set it up in 5 minutes, fill it up with water, and start getting cold typically within a few hours, that's a huge win in my book, and that is why I will continue to recommend the Desert Plunge. Now, if they decide to completely change everything about what they currently have, we'll have some updated videos in the future, and that's my mission for you. I want to be the #1 resource in the world to help people make the best decisions on which health and wellness product they should get for themselves. And you've probably realized by now, I don't have an exclusivity with any brand. I get to talk about all these wonderful brands, and you see me making additional content on a lot of the brands. That's because they continue to make great products that I'm getting great feedback from people like you. So please, if you have any feedback for me on Desert Plunge or any of the other products that maybe are good comparisons, post it down in the comments below or reach out to me on Instagram if you're more comfortable there, because I would truly love to hear from you. But for now, making an updated video, I would still recommend a Desert Plunge. If you're somebody who's wider or you and your spouse want to torture yourselves together, get the wide. It is wide, and you can sit on both sides with your legs on each side. That's what me and my wife do. She has her friends come over and they like to do that together. It's a really cool challenge. Or if you have multiple kids that want to start cold plunging together, the wide is an incredible option, and it is wider. But for most of the people out there who are just going to be cold plunging by themselves and they're going to be using on a daily basis, the exclusive is an incredible option. Now, they do have the tub only option if you're someone who wants to DIY or you just want to start with a tub and fill it up with ice. Cool thing about this, because it's so insulated, you can get away with that. Depending on where you live, it might be a really good option for you to get started, because you can at some point buy the components and create your own cold plunge using a chiller and all that stuff. But for everybody watching to this point who doesn't want to do a DIY, but you do want to start cold plunging on a regular basis, I would encourage you to just consider the Desert Plunge. I'm going to post a link in the description below. I'll have it pop up on the screen if you're watching this on a television or you can't get to the links right now. It's simple. It's dmjr, davidmossjr.co/Desert Plunge. If you do decide to purchase, use discount code MAUS, M-A-U-S. It is stackable. It'll save you additional money on top of any of the sales that they currently have going on. And no, I was not asked by Desert Plunge to make this video. I truly want to make resources that help you make the best decision. And for $3,000 around that budget range, the Desert Plunge would be something I would highly encourage everybody to have on their radar. You do your own research, make your own decisions, but if you do decide to get a Desert Plunge and you have any questions about setup or anything like that, I'll have a video pop up here that goes a little more in depth into the setup, into the actual review, so you can get specs and all that fun stuff. It'll pop up right here, so check that out after this video. And for everybody else, I just want you to know I appreciate you for watching. Thank you for being on this journey with me. It's crazy to see 50,000 plus subscribers. Who knows where this will go? Who knows if this is where I crash and burn? All I know is I want to continue giving you the resources you need to make the best decisions on which health and wellness products are going to be best for you and your family. I'd also like to encourage anybody watching that is a female. My wife is actually going to step into this arena with me. She has her own channel. It is Stacie Maus, M-A-U-S, S-T-A-C-I-E. And I'd love for you to go subscribe to her channel. She has 4 videos she published last summer. She's a school teacher, but after this year, I think she's gonna step into this arena with me and start sharing some of her journey. We have 4 kids, we're a family, and I think it might be a good channel for the ladies out there as a really good resource for you. We are blessed with the opportunity to share a lot of really great products, and God's been really, really good. So we just wanna share and hopefully help some of the families out there, the ladies and the gentlemen, make the best decisions for themselves. Appreciate you guys for watching. See you on the next video. Have a great day, my friends, and God bless.